Hello. Good evening. It is late, but we are here and we're going to do the thing. So, tonight we are talking about, and it's actually a piggyback. I didn't plan this out this way um, because I'm going live 10 days in a row. I literally have to find some inspiration from articles and news and things that are going on that are relevant today. So, I found an article about this gentleman and I'm actually going to look at notes directly on my phone, guys. It's super late and I'm still here. Okay. I showed up. So, Randy Hazelton, he is an entrepreneur and he is on track to do $50 million. He owns, he's a restaurateur. He owns several restaurants in airports. And his journey is very similar to the story I told you about myself yesterday as it pertains to trying, failing, starting again. So this gentleman in 2006, he left his corporate job and he started a restaurant with a friend. And one of the points that he made, the article said, the restaurant failed to a degree. It failed, but it did not fail. Okay. So the restaurant, he was able to eventually sell it, but in order to keep it open, he had to file bankruptcy personally. So he went on to say that they did not do as well as they had expected because they did not know how to make money. And that was so funny to me because I found, or you guys know how the algorithm works, right? Our phones, we speak, and the next day, an article, an advertisement comes up with something based on a conversation that we had. So, right after doing this live last night, today I opened my phone and here's this article. But I thought that was really important what he said about not knowing how to make money and realizing that. And it's sometimes you get into business, you know you should be in business, right? Whatever your situation is, maybe you are about to retire from a corporate job or you've worked a corporate job and you have skills and you have experience and you're like, okay, I need to bring in an additional income. And you may actually be doing well corporately. I personally know several corporate millionaires, people who have worked in corporate 30, 40 years, who have invested in their 401k, who have lived somewhat frugally, climbed the corporate ladder, and now their retirement portfolio is worth over $1 million. And several of those individuals, as they got closer to retirement, they had a desire uh, to make a shift to get into an entrepreneurial endeavor, to start their own practice or do consulting. So it's not far fetched for people to work in corporate America and then make a transition into entrepreneurship. This gentleman, he did not retire. He still is fairly young to me. He did not retire, but he shifted from his corporate America job to business ownership and then realized I don't know how to make money, right? I don't know how to make money. And that's the same thing that I faced because people are beating it down our throats to this is how you start an LLC. This is how you get business credit. Even in school, we're learning when we go through the public school system or private school system and we go into college, nobody is teaching. People are teaching us how to complete a resume. People are teaching us how to do interviews. We're taking classes based on our major, based on the field we want to go into, but nobody is teaching us, or these traditional institutions typically are not teaching, did not teach us. They're as far as I can see, they're not really teaching the younger generation. I know that some schools have have made the initiative to offer classes around financial literacy, but sometimes financial literacy classes, if that teacher doesn't know how to make money outside of a job, outside of a every 2 weeks paycheck or once a month paycheck, 2 weeks vacation, 40 hours a week, then it's going to be very difficult for them to teach a younger generation how to make money. So a lot of us as entrepreneurs, we step out on faith, we start our business, and then we realize, oh, I know how to go and rent a brick and mortar. I know how to file a LLC. I know how to get an EIN. Okay, I have some business credit, but I don't know how to make money. And that is so very important. And a lot of us, me, this gentleman who is now on track to do $50 million, you kind of don't realize it until it's too late. You get in that business and realize nobody's coming into the door. You start that venture and you don't get any sales. And really, you don't even know, you're spinning your wheels because you don't even know how to get customers or clients and make that business sustainable. So, what's the point here? What's the objective? We really have to learn, slow down, ask ourselves, do I know how to make money? We can't always say, okay, that business venture wasn't for me. We have a tendency to do that. Oh, it didn't work out. I guess it wasn't for me. I guess I wasn't meant to be an entrepreneur. I guess I wasn't meant to start a business. So and so failed, and so had to file bankruptcy, and it didn't go well for cousin John, right? We know those stories. We hear it over and over and over again. But I don't believe that. I don't believe that narrative that it's just not for you or it's just not meant to be. I very much believe that whatever we put our minds to, I truly believe that we can, if we are willing to put the effort, time, energy into it, we can achieve it, we can do it. But a lot of times we have to have the education and we have to be honest with ourselves to say, okay, I really don't know how to get clients or I really don't know how to get customers. Let me figure out how to do that part. And I personally feel that either the information that's out there about getting clients and customers is so overwhelming and time consuming. There's so much jargon. There are so many different techniques and skills that people have to learn that it can appear overwhelming. I know in my business, when I actually reach success, I know even now I have to focus on income generating activities. And I had to figure out what that looked like. And just to share a little bit with you about what that looks like for me, as you guys know, if you have been here for any time, I invest in real estate. So I have a real estate investing firm and I have a business consulting firm. This YouTube channel acts as a funnel to bring business into my small business consulting firm. I had to learn about YouTube. Okay. I had to learn about sales funnels. I had to figure out which one resonates with me. Those Learning that skill, it took some time. Learning what a sales funnel was, it took some time. Learning what sales funnel was going to be best for me took even more time. So it's not just about taking in information and being a passive participant. It's about shifting your mind to actively engage and say, okay, because you're here on YouTube, like you're listening to me. So clearly you want more information, you need insight, you want to grow your business, you want to bring in more money, you want to make more money, so that you can do whatever it is you need to do, whether that's stabilizing yourself, improving your life, building a legacy, preparing for retirement. You are on YouTube because you want to better yourself. Typically, if you're watching a video like this, you definitely want to better yourself. Like, I'm not a Mr. Beast. I don't have, things popping out of the screen and it's not action packed. It's literally talking head. Like, it's just me and you. I'm sitting here talking. So in order for you to be paying me any type of attention or to be attracted to click on any type of content like this, you clearly want to better yourself. So rather than consuming video after video after video, there are times where I will watch a video. A couple of nights ago, I couldn't sleep, woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was watching some YouTube videos about making YouTube videos better. And I was jotting down notes. So, what am I saying to you? As it pertains to your journey, learning how to actually make money in your business, figuring that part out. A lot of it comes from marketing. Marketing is people knowing that your business actually exists. How are people going to learn about your business? How are you going to put your business out there consistently so that people know that know that it exists. And then sales, how are you going to close a deal? Once people are attracted to your business, once they find you and they want to do business with you, how are you going to close them? Are you going to send them to a website? For instance, if you are a subscriber of my YouTube channel, you have seen that in the community tab, I have been posting about this business funding plan workshop that I will be doing on November 18th. And I'm going to be posting it every day. And my plan right now is to show up for you every single day. It's 11:32 p.m. my time, Eastern Standard Time. I forgot that I had needed to get on YouTube. I forgot that I told you guys that I was going to do this 10 days in a row, was putting my daughter to sleep and realized, hey, I still got to go live. So I had to go get out of my pajamas, put on some clothes, get it together because I need you to know that I exist. Not for my sake. Like, I'm an introvert. I'm not looking for the popularity. I'm not looking for any type of fame. I need you to know that I have experience. I provide a service. If I'm a good match for you, then patronize my business, right? So, why am I saying this? Yes, it's a plug, but it's also showing you an example of this is how I'm personally showing up for my business so that people know my business exists. It solves a problem that's in the marketplace. This is how I solve that problem. If you would like to patronize me, now we're going to talk about sales. I provide a link. There's a link in the description below where you can sign up for that workshop, where you can sign up for my business funding newsletter. So for you, how can people do business with you? You have to make it easy. I was doing my flyer that went into the community tab the other day and I realized I have people literally around the world who watch these videos, and I put Saturday, November 18th at 11:30 a.m. 11:30 a.m. What time? Central, Pacific, Eastern Standard. I hate when I go on Google and I look at a business, or I'm on Facebook and I see like maybe a business and it looks like it's local, but you really can't tell. Like, is this a local business? Is this out of state? Where are they located? What's their name? They just make an assumption that people know that they exist, where they are. We have to have a level of empathy and humility when it comes to marketing and the sale of our business. We have to say, okay, if somebody is looking at this, if they're taking the time to pay me any type of attention, like if they're willing to give me 10 seconds of their time with so much information, and you guys keep hearing me hit my phone against my desk. So I'm sorry about that. But if you can get eyeballs on your business and they are willing to patronize you for any length of time, right? You have to make it super easy for them. Allow them to easily be able to click a link and make a purchase with you. Don't make it overcomplicated. Marketing and sales sounds like a big thing, sounds like a big deal, sounds super complicated. It's not. Marketing is about how is somebody going to find your business. You don't necessarily have to get on YouTube, even though I think YouTube is a really, really great and easy platform. I'm a regular person. I'm a regular business owner. I have a light behind my laptop right now. I'm using a webcam. As you can see, my microphone right here. I think this was like a super cheap microphone that I got offline. And I'm here, I'm showing up. So I personally think YouTube is intimidating, yes, because it's like, okay, I'm putting my face out there in the world. I don't know these people, I don't want judgment. People in 2023 can be really mean in the comment section. That can be intimidating, yes. But you have to decide. This is where people always talk about, well, what is your motivation? What is your why? And I used to hate that term. And I'm kind of sorry that I'm using that term, but you do have to have some deep push as to why you're going to put yourself out there, or at least put your business out there, because all businesses don't require you to be the face of them, right? My real estate investing firm, I am not the face. When I talk to sellers, people think I just work for the company, and I lean into that. I just work for the company, right? And really, it's just run by me and my husband, and I do most of the legwork. So all businesses don't require you to be the face. You don't have to just use YouTube, but social media is probably the cheapest form of marketing that you're going to be able to do for your business. I know I do direct mail marketing for my real estate business. I do cold calling in my real estate business. I have to hire contractors. It's very expensive for very little return. However, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, and I say Facebook, I will keep saying Facebook. Every time I get on here, I'm going to say Facebook. Why? Because Facebook, that's where people actually have money to spend. There are a lot of Gen Xers, yeah, Gen X, baby boomers. Gen X and baby boomers have money to spend. So get in places where people are spending money, okay? Um, TikTok, Instagram. So I'm going to keep talking about, because what I understand, yes, you initially came to my channel for business funding, business grants, and those things are important. It's great if you get a business grant, but if you don't have clients or customers, what are you going to do with that money? Pay some bills because you don't have the revenue coming in, because you don't have the income coming in to pay to pay the bills that you need to pay, or to grow the business in the way that you desire to grow business. And that may sound confusing. It's like, hey, are you saying don't get business grants? No, that's not what I'm saying at all. I think that businesses fail, not all, I'm not going to make a generalization, but entrepreneurship is challenging, it's difficult. Lots of businesses fail because the owners genuinely just don't know how to make money, don't know how to get clients consistently. They're I see all the time. I remember in the area that I live, a boutique opened in a storefront. In this particular boutique, I said to my husband, I said, I hope that they have some type of digital footprint and already have a loyal fan base, because if not, that particular boutique in the area that they put it in, I knew that it would not last long. I don't think they were open for 3 months. The reason why, you have to understand your business, you have to understand your client. You can't say, hey, I'm going to serve everybody. It just does not work like that. You have to decide, if you're trying to serve a geographical location of a 10-mile radius, own that. You may say to yourself, well, I don't know if there are enough people in my 10-mile radius to service my business. There may be, but you have to be willing to put a little bit more elbow grease in to learn about your industry, your business, your location. If you're doing a business that's online, if you're doing something like consulting, for instance, we just worked with a client who, she wrote a book and she would do in-person sales. She was basically guerrilla marketing. She was selling books out of the trunk of her car and at church events and when she met people. And she attended my launch your business right from the start. I told you guys before, I put on a class annually called Launch Your Business Right from the Start. And it basically teaches you how to set up a business from start to finish. Those initial setup guidelines, things like that. And to get proof of concept to start making money, that's what it goes over. So anyway, she participated in that last January. And because she had already written a book, she had already published this book, and she wanted to make more sales, and she wanted to shift herself into not just selling this book, but she wanted to become a speaker. She wanted to teach other people how to launch their books. She was also a life coach, and she just could not figure out, how do I make money? She wasn't selling books consistently. So when she came to us, not only were we able to help her to set up her business officially, but we were also able to say, okay, based on your industry, that's super important. Whether you work with me or not, that is super important. Knowing your industry, based on your industry, here is a plan for you to start doing some consistent marketing so you can get consistent revenue. Okay. So where am I going with this? You may have already started a business. You may have started a business in your past and it failed, and you said to yourself, I'm not a good entrepreneur. Or you may have said to yourself that you are not meant to do something, right? I reject that. I say you have to try again. I told you guys my story in the last live, how I thought I was doing everything right, realized I didn't know anything. I was a novice. I didn't say, even though that situation led to bankruptcy, I didn't say, hey, I'm not meant for this. This isn't for me. I had babies, okay? I knew that I could not go into corporate. I needed to be home with them in that season. So I said to myself, I have to make this work. Even through bankruptcy, even through failure, I have to make this business work. I have to learn the lessons. I have to figure this thing out, and I have to stick with it, because what's the alternative? I just saw what is it? Amazon doing layoffs, Google doing layoffs. A lot of tech companies are doing layoffs right here at the holidays. Okay, that's devastating. That is people are. I'm not a person who shops early. Okay, I'm not shopping for my Christmas stuff early. My dad was just asking me, because typically we buy gifts for our kids and send them to our parents' house, because we have two older kids who are now old enough to start looking around for gifts. So my dad said, hey, I haven't seen any Christmas gifts yet. I say, yeah, you probably won't see any till around December 1st, just because I'm busy. Each year I say, hey, I'm going to do it early. I never do it early. So imagine these families who are losing their jobs right now, and Christmas is coming up. The holidays are coming up. They don't have a backup plan. That's their one stream of income. Okay. And I saw a story about a family, and I'm all over the place. I know it, guys. Stick with me. There was a family in California. They were both laid off from a tech company. Maybe it was Twitter. Don't quote me on that. It was a husband and wife. They worked at the same company. They were laid off on the same day. They ended up starting a small business, but that's not everybody's situation. I just saw in the news that they're trying to avoid a government shutdown, right? Guys, do you guys remember the last government shutdown? I was scared for government workers. It's like, how do you, if you only have one stream of income? Like, I know a lot of people say like business ownership isn't meant for them, entrepreneurship isn't meant for them. It's not for everybody. You hear it all the time. Okay, but what's the alternative? Like, just sit and not do anything, or just depend on one source of income, and when the economy shifts, you're on the chopping block, and that means not having an income. And most Americans do not have a savings, because I'm gonna be real. Like, I'm not. I'm honestly not necessarily here for likes or subscriptions, right? I am here to speak to the people who need to hear my voice, and are need information about business. And I know I've already attracted clients from YouTube, so I'm going to attract clients, and at the end of the day, that's why I'm here. So I'm not here to patronize. I'm here to be real about real America, because I'm an average person. So I really understand what is going on the day to day. I know that a lot of Americans don't have a savings. If an emergency happens, they are so deep in credit card debt that they don't have enough to buy a set of 4 tires at one time. Like, I've seen it, have family members. I've lived in it. I've lived in situations and circumstances like that, right? Going to Kroger with a whole bunch of coins, pouring the coins in so that you can get a slip out, so that you can get some cash. Like, baby, I've been there. I know it. Okay. I know what low looks like. All right. So I'm going to keep it 100% real with you. What is the alternative? If you're on a chopping block, if you lose your job, you only have one stream of income, you have low savings, and your credit cards are maxed out, what then? So for those of you who have started a business and it failed, try again. There is a book I used to read to my kids all the time. It's about a train trying, like putting effort forward, putting energy forward. Be like that train. If I can find that book next time I come on live, I'm gonna bring it on here just to remind you, encourage you, and say, listen, you cannot put your fate in the hands of any type of corporation, employer. They can say, oh, we love you, we love you, we love you. They will replace you tomorrow. Okay. You have to take care of your own family. You have to mind your own business. Everybody loves the book Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And that's what that book is about. It's about minding your own business, making sure your business is established. So for those of you who are saying, I've tried. I've tried. It was too hard. It didn't work. Broke is harder. Okay. Broke is way harder. So you just got to try again. Take your time. Even if it takes you, I'm not unrealistic. I'm not going to sit here and say it's going to take you 2 months. It depends on where you are. If you're experienced, you can make something pop off in the next 3 to 6 months. If you have enough motivation, if your situation is challenging enough, you can make something pop off. But if you're comfortable, if you have those golden handcuffs and you're making, 150, 200, $300,000 a year in your corporate job, because I do know people who are making that type of money, it's going to be real challenging for you. It may take you 2, 3, 5 years. Why? Why is it more challenging for the person who has more money than the person who has less? Because the person with less money has more motivation, more grit, more grind, willing to hustle, willing to roll up their sleeves and get their hands dirty. Whereas people who have a lot of money, a lot of access to things, sometimes you dabble so long, you never get the job done because you have those golden handcuffs. But I believe we're at a point of reckoning where it's like you have to weigh the pros and the cons. You may have failed before, but you can try again. You can figure it out this time. You can be successful in business ownership, because what makes a difference in your household? Is it $100,000, which is relatively easy? Once you find your momentum, once you figure out, how do I actually make money in my business? What are income generating activities for my business? For instance, real estate investing. What makes me money is to talk to sellers and make offers. The more offers I make, the more answers I get, whether that's a yes or no. The more answers I get, the more money I make. Because I may get, realistically, in real estate, we just did a marketing campaign. We've had about 4 people call. All but one is a no. Not just a no from them, it's a no from us too, because they're trying to sell us just property that does not fit our buy box, right? It's mostly no's. I spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars a year on marketing, and I get mostly no's. No, I'm not going to sell it for nothing. No, I'm not interested. No, take me off your list. No, no, get used to the no's. Get used to the no's, because on the other side of no is a yes. My yeses are enough to make multi six figures in my real estate investing firm. And this is not bragging. I am humbly here with you at almost 12 a.m. on a Sunday morning, saying to you, encouraging you, no, I'm no different than you. I'm no better than you. I just did not give up. I will not give up. So you got to have that same oomph. You got to find it. If you're not feeling it, if you're in a low, if you're feeling sad, if you're depressed, you got to find your oomph, because this life is just, it's not a dress rehearsal. Time is passing by. So if it takes you 10 years, 10 years is going to pass by anyway. So you might as well pursue your dreams and what you need to go after to be the best version of yourself. All right. I hope that this was helpful. I will see you tomorrow. I hope that you guys get a good night's rest. Thank you so much for those who showed up. If you are watching later, if you're going to watch, as a replay, then thanks for joining. Thanks for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope that, because you guys do not comment, I wish you would, though, because I really hope that this information is providing value to you and helping you in your life in some way, shape, form, or fashion. All right. Until tomorrow, you guys have a good one and be safe.